Hello, my friends and family and enemies. Today I'm going to talk about how Tinseltown is burning down. Can there be a big pattern? DEW on your town if it's going to be a smart city? Tinseltown is burning down. Can there be a big pattern? A week ago, 5 fires broke out in Los Angeles, California. They say it's the biggest fire event in a city yet. At least financially, it's caused more destruction than any event yet. The 5 LA fires, the Palisades Highlands fire was roughly 2,000 acres were burned. And the Kenneth fire was the 3rd largest out of the 5. Burned nearly 1,000 acres in a week. 9,000 structures burned to the ground. At least they know of 10 lives, they say now. As of in a week, it's been 10 lives. Financially speaking, all those mansions burning down in Malibu was the biggest disaster, financially speaking, they say. And so... they say it's the biggest fire event in a city yet. Excuse me. 90 mile per hour. Santa Ana winds were blowing wall. Today, Forbes News reported they apprehended a suspect who admitted, he said that he was trying to start a fire with a blowtorch. I've noticed LA had an arsonist problem for years, Every fire season, like Riverside County or some other certain counties around LA, seems like there'd always be someone that started fires. Every year fires would break out in certain counties around LA, but it hasn't ever occurred in January in 21 years, as I recall. Why did 5 fires break out on the exact same day with 90 mile per hour winds, and the fire hydrants in those regions just happen to be dry? Imagine that. The fire hydrants were dry. And somebody was talking about how the fire chief in LA makes twice as much as the president or some shit. But anyways, I don't know if that's exaggerating. No water. Build back better. You know. The silly side of me thought, did the OG narcissist destroyer angel, did the inventor of the archetype of the narcissist, because it's their personality, did the ultimate destroyer angel Lucifer, Lucifer, just happened to decide to attempt to clean up his image for the ascension, and just like in the Old Testament, decided to destroy instead of flood, decided to destroy the city by fire, because they only obeyed him in his ways too perfectly, man. They only did as they were told. They only did as they were told by the fallen angels too perfectly. Now, something I didn't put in my notes that I really have wondered. Is it only 10 casualties because I, just like Shel Silverstein, was so well loved even by the Destroyer Angel's people that he was warned not to go to work on September 11th. Excuse me. He was warned. Don't do it. He was warned not to do it. He was warned not to go to his job in the World Trade Center, because he was so well loved by all kinds of folks. And for those lovely books, The Giving Tree, and Where the Sidewalk Ends, he was so well loved that they... So is it only 10 casualties because these celebrities whose mansions burned down were warned? So yeah, the Forbes says this guy was using a fire hydrant, and the audacity of the 1% and their overlords and their smart city plan. Okay, of course, my idea that it was the fallen angels were trying to repent and get a good image because they're narcissists, they wanted to look good. That was kind of a wishful thinking. Of course, it was unfortunately probably, since we see such similarities in what has occurred last year in the island of Maui. I just wanted to read some things that my friend Laura put in a voicemail to me here. And this is something I wrote to my friend Laura about how I felt about what's happening with Los Angeles burning down with 5 fires that are some of them are totally out of control, by the way, still. Howdy, my friend. I know it's weird. I feel like I'll probably be publicly stating that the powerful fallen angels have colluded on some weird Ouroboros suicide. Burning down their entire edifice of mind control, where they built the greatest thought control program ever known to mankind, the greatest mind control system ever, from the magic wand, Hollywood. They burnt it to a crisp. Why would the Khazarian Mafia, Illuminati, and their fellow geoengineers, why would they possibly pay these arsonists and collude all these factors with the dark ET overlords that control them as puppies? Why would they collude to take out so much of their own highest-ranking followers and creators of mental hell on earth, like Hollywood producers, Hollywood movie directors that created Illuminati mind control movies that made people into the behavior, that created the sort of inverted personalities they wanted? Why would they burn down their mansions? Why would they? If what I'm saying is true, if I'm not just telling you a myth, the myth of a mentally ill person, a crazy brain, why would they? Why would they take out so many of their own, the homes, the houses of their own highest-ranking followers and creators of mental hell on earth mind control scams? I have wondered before, probably publicly on a video, if even Lucifer could repent and quit, maybe in the next million years, quit all the mad inversions and endless psychotic control freaking world wars. I've spoken about how they'll torture and make fun of their own in one of my earlier videos. I think it's called They Make Fun of Their Own. It's about the woke and the inversion of the sexual thing. But this takes this burning down Los Angeles, in 5 fires in one day. This really takes it to another level of psychopathy, in my crazy opinion. Could it be like another iteration of God the Father, Elohim, Anunnaki, Enki, or whatever name you want to use, was like, they already said in Revelations, the apocalypse in this era would be by fires. Rather than by the floods they caused back then. Well, they got Asheville by flood this time, but obviously it'll be both and other types of weather warfare attack. Was the demiurge like, okay, I really messed up on this one. Now we'll burn it all down and start over. Not just for the massive Lucifer actually realized he was wrong in controlling the world in an inverted way with all the black magic wand Hollywood and just destroyed it all. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Humans must be very careful who we believe in, embody, or listen to. It might just be an extremely powerful suicidal black magician. Hopefully it is not hubris or narcissistic aggrandizement on my part, but maybe he's a little intimidated by our light emanations. How many humans stood up in the last few years. And in the Pistis Sophia, it basically says the archons fell over on themselves when Yeshua entered the tunnel of light. They collapsed on themselves in anguish. They were terrified of his power. They couldn't force him to do anything. They couldn't force him to sit strap him to a thing and wipe his memories. Could it be while watching some of us humans reclaim the Christ inside, our cowardly junior God uncle wanted to do something helpful or good from the perspective of a destroyer antichrist being who knows he must improve or get banished? What do you think? And Miss Ellie says, thank you for sharing such a detailed and thought-provoking perspective. Your points about the interplay between fallen angels, ancient archetypes, and humanity's spiritual reclamation are fascinating. Okay, thank you, my sister, my teacher, and my friend. I find it intriguing how you tied Pistis Sophia's insights into contemporary events. If this represents, because I've been reading it lately again, rereading it, if this represents a spiritual reckoning, it could reflect humanity's awakening by challenging these controlling forces. Or it could be just because I'm, your acquaintance or friend, fellow Gnostic teacher. Could collective enlightenment tip the balance against these destructive entities? Now, I asked her permission to share this. She didn't say no, but this is the part. This text. I really love this. I'll say it one more time because I love it. Could collective enlightenment tip the balance against these destructive entities? And this was responding to an earlier one. She wrote texting me concerning to see if I was okay concerning the fires. And thank you. Yeah, worse is the obvious. Empty water hydrants, 90-mile-per-hour winds, and 5 fires in the same city, same day. Just the same old arsonist? Question mark. Or is this simply how they'll go to make another 15-minute city, just like Lahaina? Like I said, maybe it's a self-preservation to be a country mouse. Duh. You know, she and I both are spend most of our time in less and more country areas. I mean, I'm several miles from the next neighbor, or a mile. Used to be a mile from the next neighbor. But his treehouse burned down. I've recently been studying some amazing remote viewers. Wow. Like Sonia Testerman, the Tree of Knowledge. I recommend to check her out. That's the name of her YouTube channel. Her boyfriend gave her the name, and she's really an amazing teacher and remote viewer. I think she's what you call a natal. Actually, she admits to being abducted by ETs, and she was really like a small baby. She's from a military family, but somehow like she got advanced psychic capabilities. She says she was born with the ability to remote view, and she's a very fascinating person. So I was telling my friend Laura about her, and asking her, saying that she ought to have her on her show, the Mother Earth Time, and then I said, I see how you, because I recommended Jack Cruz to her also. And I can see how Jack or myself, on the other hand, can be intimidating. Sonia is the opposite of us, so positive and good-natured, but she does. I mean, we're all three good-natured, really, but she does not hold back in truth-telling. Like, that's the other thing we all three are like. But anyways, yeah, amazing how the bifurcation goes. And then this was response to the line I said I really liked that I read twice. Thank you so much for this beautiful question and leading the way to its answer. And right now, I want to read to you a little bit from another document. And this right here is from Smart LA 2028, Technology for a Better Los Angeles. This is a document online coming from the city of Los Angeles, and it's the date it says is December 2020. Okay. The soul of our recovery will shape the contours of our city's future for decades to come. We have a blueprint for the city of the future. The soul of our recovery. December 2020, the soul of our recovery will shape the contours of our city's future for decades to come. We have a blueprint for the city of the future. We have a blueprint for the city of the future. Mayor Eric Garcetti, State of the City, April 19th, 2020. You know, under the day of the last day of Aries, that sounds like a declaration of war to me. I mean, we live in a world full of urban challenges, from racial injustice that impacts our minority populations to natural disasters that threaten safety and property, to environmental challenges that affect the very water we drink and the air we breathe. To address these challenges, cities seek tools that can positively transform the urban environment. The most promising of these tools is technology. While not a silver bullet, though we kind of try to make it into one or pretend like it is, technology provides solutions previously unavailable to generations before us. It is technology that enables transparency in our policing and gives a powerful voice to our diverse communities. It is technology that prepares us for incoming natural disasters. How about that? It is technology that innovates alternative energy sources to reduce pollution and limit our carbon footprint. It is technology that allows people with disabilities to fully participate in civic life. Well, maybe that's true in this case to a tiny degree. Technology enables the city of Los Angeles to effectively and ethically improve the quality of life for our residents, businesses, and visitors. In other words, when done right, technology makes us smarter. This is why the city of Los Angeles strives to be a smart city. Okay, there you have it, folks. Right across the street from my motel room here, I could take pictures of it and might post on here, and of the beginnings of Santa Cruz, a smart city. Okay? And so this lists a bunch of things that make it sound really good. The city of Los Angeles envisions a highly digital and connected city in 2028, and on it goes. And so the thing of it is that the thing I also heard about all this is that they plan to make it a car-free city. Also, the smart city of LA 2028. After they burned it all to the ground, or is whatever they wanted to burn, then they're going to rebuild it to be a city with no cars allowed. They've already said that. So, okay. Again, as I've said about Event 201, Loser 4 is such a moral retard, as powerfully talented and skillful as he is at organization and mind control, that he taught his followers, the 1% robber barons, that if they just announce what they're doing is good, then they can get away with it. Okay? So, so the audacity of the 1%, their overlords, and their smart city plan. It is all out on the table as usual. The cat is out of the bag. We see a pattern emerging here. Should residents of future smart cities, you can find lists of these online. If you don't want the censored, go to Yandex or maybe DuckDuckGo. I mean, there's others I don't know about. Many search engines you can check out to discern if your city, for example, Boulder, Colorado, a place I love, and San Jose, California, they're committed smart cities. So, okay. Should residents of future smart cities literally get out of the engineered hell of dodging these plans while they still can? Just like in Lahaina, we saw the engineered conditions to spread this takedown annihilation of Malibu. Fortunately, it wasn't a big child harvest this time, as far as I know, but they claim it was only 10 people that died. So we'll find out. So, arsonists were only a part of the multifaceted attack. Sometimes I wonder, I didn't feel very emotional about this, and other people, it seems like, weren't reacting as emotionally as Asheville and Lahaina, or Katrina. But you understand, it's because it was mansions. It's very odd to me. So this is why I pose the conspiracy theory that the fallen angels want to clean up their image by burning down their mind control, taking retribution out on those who spread horror movies or whatever it was. So it's just a theory, but Um, you know, arsonists were only a part of the multifaceted attack of Los Angeles. And plus, we're used to people firing it up there. So beware. I mean, not to this level, but unfortunately, we knew we were in the middle of a war where they might use these kind of weapons too. So I'm saying that I'm not claiming that this was direct energy weapons. I'm saying with that, well, they call it arsonists using flamethrowers, but it was that mixed with DEWs, in my opinion. So beware, be very aware, be very wary if you are in a place getting turned into a smart city. Some say it's here next. Well, maybe. Like I say, it doesn't mean they're going to have to blow up stuff to create it if they can get away with, they'll figure out a way to exterminate all the people like me and, just have the 15-minute line, Santa Cruz City. And, well, maybe a disaster in San Jose, because it's on the list. I was looking at the list, you could catch these lists of who's committed to this. We have the engineered CZU fires already in August 2020. I tell you, it was the craziest sound I have ever heard. You want to talk about a weird ET visitation? Well, I think the cannabis or my mental illness was getting to me, and I actually had left my headlamp or was out of batteries, and I was kind of crawling up the trail, and I got into my tent, and at one point I was glad that I didn't have the light, because I heard the craziest sound I have ever heard in my life, probably. It sounded like a machine in the sky rumbling, like an ancient rumbling machine in the sky. It probably was. No. So I think it was, what I heard was actually the direct energy weapon that created the CZU fires. They called it the CZU electric. They said that electricity was an electrical fire. So I'm just saying that, the same thing with LA. I'm saying that these arsonists were a part of it, or like the spark or the matchstick, if you will. So, so since we've already had fires in this county, it might be that we're safe, because we've already had to try to burn it down. Electrical gadgetry was used to destroy Last Chance then, in the CZU fires. They actually burned down a somewhat actual, ironically, for the sustainable smart city agenda of taking the planet over for the dark side and having full control over everything in the whole planet. You know what? They burned down an actually sustainable hippie, somewhat of a hippie self-sustaining community there. Some of my friends that were elderly hippies who grew their own cannabis, grew their own food, took care of themselves. Last Chance was too close to the smart cities of Santa Cruz and San Jose. You can't have a hippie community that close to them, man. Whereas Santa Cruz is building their smart city right across the river from me here, and it's going to take up the first 2 blocks between Laurel Street, Pacific, and Front Street. You can see right now it's exactly what a smart city is about. You can do everything you need to do in 15 minutes. It's uber convenient. But, you pretty much well monitored. So they took the bus station, all the way from the bus station, the dance studios. These entire 2 blocks are being turned into a big smart city right here in Santa Cruz. Fast. Like they're building it, like put up scaffolding, and they've already built half the buildings or more. So, next thing you know, Santa Cruz, for like half of it, is going to look like a massive, a big city, because it's a smart city part of it, So many folks, such as my friend Silas Speaks is his YouTube name. Silas feels the government is totally Governor Newsom. Many people feel, he's a Scottish man, but many people near and far feel that Governor Newsom is being incompetent in the way they responded to the fires, and that that the fire hydrant thing that is a sign of the breakdown of Western civilization. Well, yeah, of course. As we go further into the bifurcation, will you become a Borg hybrid human 2.0, or did you already commit to that in a smart city, an automaton battery for the elites, loser 4, and the archons? How much destruction, lives lost, homes destroyed, will wildlands bought and corded off, like farmlands and wildlands bought and corded off by the government and the big boys. In short, how much intentional Armageddon or attrition-based repurposing do you need to see before you go into a different path? Ideally, one of sovereignty and self-respect. Folks in the truther and freedom movement were telling me in 2020 to get out of the city, and move to the country. I was already a mile or two out of it, but they weren't lying, man. When they said get out of the city, look what happened to Los Angeles, man. They just torched the whole, Tinseltown just died, man. They just burnt it to a crisp. It may have to be a necessity to move out of the cities if they are going to controlled demolition your house or mansion to make a smart city. However, just like Lahaina, if your house was blue, maybe if you paint your house blue, it may have survived. I was pillaging Peggy Hall, had some video, one video, some blue things from the Los Angeles fire. I was trying to look for that. I found a little evidence of that. The portions of it that were direct energy weapon caused, that weren't the arsonists, the direct energy weapon caused portions of the 5 fires. So there has been some evidence that, it was that, because there was blue things. In the footage, you can see there was one blue trash can. You can see, or several. You can see once again how many of if you look at all the footage, you can see how many of the trees nicely survived, whilst many of the houses, buildings, mansions, and cars melted to the ground. That's the sign of DEWs, just like Lahaina. The cars and houses melt to the ground. The trees were okay because they want to keep the trees. We, the people of the USA, must resist these plans if we want peace. I'm not sure how. I'm not good at organization. With people, I've got to learn. So, or move to the country where you still can. Move to the country and live while you still can. Sending peace to those suffering in LA. Sending you as much peace as possible. And you're in 95, or if you don't get out of there, I would get out of there while you can, while the smoke is so bad. But I send peace to those in LA suffering the fire apocalypse, if and whenever possible. And if you enjoyed this, and if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe for more videos, and talk about all facets of the warfare that we're currently going through, and all things I know about how to lead to peace. Of course, meditation, of course, awareness, discernment, plant medicines, strict diet, strictly resembling the Holy Ghost. The moment that you vacillate into fear or worry, anger, regret, judgment, or any negative emotions, depression, you better bet your sweet bippy that those archons, or that archon, your personal archon, is going to be there. And they're going to try to amplify it, especially if you live in a vortex like this. They're going to try to make it worse. And so, Overstand who you really are. Understand who you really are. You really are a powerful energy being in your essence. You're not a physical flesh suit or even a soul, a spirit. Learning from Michael L. Martin, you are this essence, a powerful energy being. That's why they want us as batteries. And so it's up to you to remember to discern who you are, what you want to do, and amplify your ability to actually have free will, actually manifest, actually create your personal version of your reality. Even in the chaos of this war, if you're harmless, if you're respectful, if you're not harming anyone else, then you have the right, at least if you're born on Turtle Island, or otherwise known as USA soil, you have the right to believe, to put what you want in your body, to think what you want. If you're not going to harm anyone else, you have the right to be free. And if you're smart, I think, maybe at least for moments out of each day, obey this Aboriginal commandment. Create something, and why not? If you don't do that, why not create a great one? If you have the courage, my family, love and peace in your heart, the Holy Ghost is where it starts.